Hey everybody, welcome to Sew with Joe. Today we're continuing on the corduroy patch on the knee, my jeans that we've been working on the last few times. Let's get to it. So last time we went from, oh yeah, oh, there to there. Today, which way do I feel like going? Finish off this side and start over that way. To a little bit of a late start this morning, because I stayed up late last night to finish a project. So off to a bit of a late start, and that's okay. Ever since that discussion on universal basic income, I haven't really thought of anything terribly relevant to the world to talk about. And that's okay too. So what we're doing here is we're sewing with Joe. Just chilling. I hope you are anyway. Are you chilling? Are you enjoying these videos? There's only a few people watching, and that's okay. Appreciate everyone that does tune in. This is mostly done for me anyways, I think. I've always liked the sewing, and I've always liked making YouTube videos. So this kind of combines the two. And I've been uploading them raw. I haven't even been listening to what I've said afterwards, which is probably a little dangerous. That's okay. I'm sure my friends and fans will point it out if I do make an error. I gotta just not worry about that right now. Just chilling. So, for those of you who don't know, I've been unemployed for a while. I've been trying the last while to get in with the Canadian Forces. I don't want to go over and shoot anybody if I don't have to, so I've applied for a weapons technician job, which is basically fixing guns. Gunsmithing for the military, which I think would be super cool. I've always been into military stuff, and weapons especially. And speaking of the one thing that's keeping me out of the military, we'll get there in a second. When I went through, I did all my testing, passed all my basic testing, not basic training, but the entry tests to get in. I passed all that really well. I'll go into more detail another time maybe. Passed all that, went for my medical, wrote down all my medical information. I was completely honest, which I guess was my first mistake. And then a few months later I heard back from the forces doctors that I'm not healthy enough to be in the military, apparently. If you take daily medication for anything and you have any condition that you're following up regularly with your doctor, they don't let you in. So with the anxiety, pardon me. So with the anxiety and depression and back pain issues that I've had, medications that I'm on, I don't get in. Now, I feel that my anxiety's been getting better over the years. Been working with a psychologist, and she's given me a lot of tools to work with. And I think it's helping. Well, I know it's helping. Depression, I haven't really had a depressive episode in a long time. Like a really bad one. Like years. So I would consider that to be a non-issue. But I am on medication for it. So that's the one thing they don't like. Back pain is getting better as I get stronger. So I've been training, well, not steady for this, but I've been training for this for quite a while now. I'm getting in better shape. Things are hurting less. So I think the back pain, the chronic back pain, might always be an issue, but I think is enough to keep me out of the military. And there's Sarah with my coffee. Thank you. Okay. So my next step is to appeal the decision and basically tell them exactly what I just told you and see if they'll reconsider me, if I can get off of these medications that I'm on and convince them to give me a chance, and maybe I'll be back in the game. But for now, that dream is paused, I suppose. And it's really hurting my motivation. Because I want to be in better shape. And everything. It's just, I have a hard time internally motivating. We talked about this in some of my rubbish conversations, different motivations and that sort of thing. It seems that the prospect of going to the military was a very motivating idea. So I'm sure you can imagine. I don't know, is that a self-esteem thing? That I can't push myself to improve myself? Because I've got a little self-esteem, maybe? I don't know. That's also gotten a lot better over the years. I think I'm worth more than I used to think I was worth. Actually realized that there are some people out there that do give a shit if I'm there or not. To find some sort of maintainable internal motivation. The only thing is I don't want to let myself get to where I'm having even more health issues before I start getting in better shape. That's kind of what I'm doing now. I can't consistently stay on, I can't seem to consistently stay on a workout schedule. So I really dislike running. I thought the idea of a job in the military was very interesting. Something to make me stronger all around, mentally and physically. So I don't like being weak. Not that I feel that I'm weak. I'm not as strong as I used to be. It bothers me. See, and I don't really want to talk about politics on this channel. I'm not going to talk about COVID on this channel. Religion, maybe. You know, I do have faith. I think that maybe going back to church would help, because that's been a long time. And you know, the Mennonite faith teaches you don't need a place to gather together or you don't need a church to have faith. You don't need a church to have a relationship with whatever deity you choose, in my case, God. I think they're all the same anyways. Like, one, in my case, one true one. That's what I feel anyways. And others that are just similar, you know, like everyone just needs to take whatever religion, whatever faith base that they have, just take the good teachings from that and use it in your life to be a better person. You know, the commandments, I think, are just, well, not just, but I think they are very good guidelines just to live your life. So if you don't mess with the commandments, it would make your life a whole lot simpler. You know, don't kill anybody, don't, you know, lust after your neighbor's wife, don't, you know, steal, all these things that you end up going to jail for anyways, right? Like, just don't do it, and you just don't make friends by being that type of person. If you always screw your friends over, who's gonna stay with you? Who's gonna want to be around you? It's tough. Nobody. That's one thing. Like, if you're a person that has anger issues or communication issues and you lash out at people and things go wrong, it's surprising how many people will forgive you if you're at least truly sorry for what you're doing. You know, like if you freak out on somebody because something goes wrong and you realize later, oh man, that was me, apologize for it. You know, don't just sit there and let it stew and let that person think that's what you really are. Just apologize, suck it up. Pride isn't worth losing your friends over. Going to have another pause for the cause here. Some mornings that when I sleep in, geez, 89. When I sleep in, because I was up late the night before, I'm instantly off my routine. Some grinding. Focus on that. Some more that I grew. I really like that I grow my own medication, my own weed. It's because I know exactly what I'm getting. I know what's been put into it. I know, oh, how great it smells. It's predictable. It's consistent. You know what you're getting. I run a glass screen, flower screens, but I don't run the stem down into the bowl. I'll ream it out every once in a while rather than having that stem pointing down. I'll actually have the stem pointing up, and I just find that it helps keep it from getting clogged and helps with airflow. So that's probably been my usual allotted time, but I gotta get a little more than that done. So I'll carry on. But yeah, since universal basic income, I haven't really thought of anything too horribly pertinent to the world. So you got anything you want to discuss, you want me to talk about, you want my opinion on? Leave in the comments, let me know. And I know the videos get a little long, but that's okay. You can always skip if you're not into it. But then you might miss what I'm going to say. Conundrum. Yeah, I haven't been doing much for garbage walks. Well, I haven't been. I actually was going to do a garbage walk this year, and I didn't get to it. It's just the ditches are generally clean around here, and when they're not, it seems that within a couple days they are. It seems like there are other people around that are conscious of their surroundings. Clean things up, so that's really cool to see. Very happy for that. I just hope someone's taken over for me back in the city. Alright, from. Because people would, every once in a while, stop and thank me for cleaning up the neighborhood, and I just hope that someone will notice that I haven't been doing, well, for one, the spring cleaning in the neighborhood, which is ghastly. Because, you know, over the 10 months of Canadian winter, things tend to accumulate. And you got about a week to clean it up, especially along the riverbanks, because as soon as the snow is gone enough that you can see the garbage, then the water's coming up to wash it all away. So you gotta get out there. I'm sure it'll be okay. The thing that really bothered me in there was that there were people that would steal things and then bring them to that area to rummage through and throw away everything else that they'd taken. And I never found out who was in there. I guess I just never crossed paths with them. I don't even know what I would do. Just why? I guess survival. People do what they need to survive. And that's one thing I guess we need to keep in mind when we run into situations like that. It's like, this guy is surviving. He's obviously had a rough time at life, and this is what he needs to do. I'm sure if he didn't have to, he wouldn't be scavenging all day and burning off insulation off of copper wire, polluting the environment. I'm sure if he had alternatives to that and could afford to do other things, I'm sure he would take that route. Maybe he's very mentally ill and just can't do anything else. It's the one thing I always try to give someone the benefit of the doubt. Think about what could be happening in their perspective to make them do this. And it's just very difficult sometimes. It's a challenge to keep that in mind when they're almost literally in your backyard. Trying to think of positive things to say. It just seems like all the news in the world is always negative. What can I talk about? Skate parks opening everywhere around here. There's just an influx of skate parks in this area. No, this area. Pretty large area, I'm including in that, but yeah, there's quite a few new ones. That's really encouraging. I'd really like to get a skate park nearby. There is nothing for quite a ways around here for skating. I mean, there's always something to skate, right? Always something. But it would be really cool, it would be really cool to have a park close by. It's one thing I've learned along the way is, to go back to what I was just saying, where I switched my butt to an and. So, the thing I learned was to watch your butts. Because when you're saying something and you say but, it completely erases what you just said. So if you say, I got a lot done today, but I have to go and finish this. Yeah, tomorrow. It's negative. If you say, I got all this done today, and I get to go finish that tomorrow, and I'm excited to finish it, that's a much more positive spin on things. So instead of saying but and canceling everything out, because you've done a lot of good work, and you need to recognize that. I think a lot of people don't realize that they are doing good works. A lot of people won't take thanks or credit for anything, and that's another thing actually that used to be a kind of a major thing with me, is that I couldn't accept praise. I couldn't take a compliment. It was just the way I was raised. Raised to be humble, which is a struggle for a Leo Sun, Leo Moon, if you're into that stuff at all. So just learning to accept a compliment is huge for your mind. And it's as simple as someone says something positive to you and you say thank you. If they are paying you a genuine compliment, that's all that's needed. If they were saying something sarcastically, or they didn't mean what they were saying, and all you say is thank you, it completely disarms whatever they were trying to do. So either way, it's a win-win. Just say thank you, and if there's nothing else to say, just take that compliment and go with it. Smile. Feels good to take a compliment. Feels good to be complimented. And then you can be thankful rather than trying to minimize yourself. And that makes you happy because you're acknowledging that someone's paid you a compliment and you are just accepting it. That is incredibly difficult for a lot of people, entire cultures. Yeah, now somebody comes up to me and says, "Hey, man, that's pretty neat. That, whatever. Well, most of the time it's for my vehicles. That's pretty cool. Thanks, man. Thanks, man. Yeah, I really like it too. And that's a simple. Or for me, most of the time it's like, thanks, man. It's a lot of fun. That's my biggest thing, because somebody can see something and they're like, yeah, that looks kind of neat, and if you tell them it's fun, then that just cements that. And yeah, you don't have to say, oh yeah, thanks, but or not even thanks. Oh yeah, it's just I gotta do this on it, and this is not right, and the paint's not good, and whatever. No, thanks, man. I like it too. They don't care if they do care if the paint's scratched, they probably wouldn't be complimenting you. Just take it and go with it. It's not just vehicles, it's personal appearance too. Like if someone says, "Oh, you're looking good today," thank you. I'm feeling good today. And if you're like feeling awkward in a social situation where you need to make conversation, move it on to something else. You don't have to dwell on it. If that's an opening to a conversation, oh, you're looking really good. Oh, thanks. There's been this Pilates instructor on YouTube that's amazing, that's been teaching me. Yeah. And it's been a really great experience. You should try it. You turn it into a double positivity, and you can share that with them. And if you don't have a way to continue that conversation, just talk about something else, or be quiet. Sometimes being quiet's the best thing you can do. Listening is so incredibly important. If you don't listen to someone, how can you understand them? Well, you're getting close to the end of this stitch. Just tie this off. And this is another one I get. This is the way I tie it off, is I just punch it through the fabric, through the thread, out the other side, and tie a knot. Oh, wait, if I can get the needle back through the loop. Tie a knot. There we go. Whew. Close call. Exciting, boys. I think we'll have to go for the slow-mo on that one, too. Boy. If anybody else knows a different or better way of finishing off threads. Oh. There we go. That's close. If anybody else has a different way of finishing off the stitch, let me know. Leave a comment. Point me in the direction of another YouTube video. Whatever. Oh, we're so close. So close to being done this one. all we got left. I'm not finishing it today. We're gonna have the satisfaction of finishing that off next time. Pull the pin. I don't think that's quite where that came from. Yeah, so we got where were we? Got from here to there done today. That's actually a pretty good stretch. 8 or 9 inches of travel, however long it's been. And I know I'm not fast at this, and that's okay too, because I enjoy it. And it is productive, and I get to share it with all of you. So let's see from the outside again. I know we've seen this from the outside a few times, but it's getting so close to done. And then we get to explore the next pair of jeans. See, and there's one thing that I just caught myself doing with the and and but thing. We're so close to being done. My first thought was, but there are lots of other spots to patch, but we're nowhere near done. We're not near wearable. And I didn't go that route. I said, and then we get to do the next patch, and we get to share that with you as well. Hope that helps. Pardon the paint on my hands. Still, that undercoating stuff really sticks to you. But yeah, join me next time. We'll finish this up and explore the possibilities for the next patch. I do have some utility patching that I need to do. Some just things that are more functional, I guess, that need to be patched. Even though I was working outside in these jeans yesterday, I try not to do any major stuff in these jeans, because they are, as you can imagine, after 20 some odd years, they are pretty fragile. They're getting pretty threadbare, so you wear them a couple times and you're sewing them again. So I try to wear them when there's not a really good chance of them getting torn up. I hadn't noticed that. I sewed some of the threads into the social distortion patch. Oops. I'll have to sew this corner back down. That's coming up. And that's the thing, over time, even patches just let go. And that's one of my old stitches that's not quite as durable. Not as durable. Crazy gerbils. Alright, well, thanks a lot for joining me again. And yeah, we'll catch you next time. Rookie. That was a bad one. My lips stuck together. Peace.